Hello, students. Today I thought I should give a little time to grammar as well because it's been quite some time we haven't touched any grammar lesson ever since we have started our online lessons. So it was only vocab and writing and reading. What I see, listening and grammar are neglected so far. So I thought I should um, have a grammar lesson today for you. If you guys remember, these are the things which are for the sake of revision because these are the basics. If foundation is weak, there's no need to build on further on that until it is strengthened. So it's here. If you remember, I had shared this table with you of the sentences which we usually use for our conversation, during our conversation, which has got actions inside them or no actions inside them. So these are sentences with no action, like I'm a girl, there's no action inside it. And then we have this I am a girl who reads, there's the action word which is reads over there. Okay, I had something else actually for you guys, which I think I have um, saved somewhere else. It's here. So, whatever we speak, it could be into two ways. Either we are using just adjectives and nouns to express whatever we wish to, or we are using actions as well. Sometimes both are included in one sentence, so it depends actually. But whatever we speak, it has either action inside it or no action inside it, or sometimes both of them are there. Without these two, speaking and speech and conversation is not possible. So when it is about no action, so remember you use just nouns and adjectives. For example, in first sentence you can see it's just noun over there, the girl. In the second sentence, which is it is quite obvious, we don't have any noun here. In fact, we have adverb, which is quite adverb of you can say frequency, and then the other one is obvious. Obvious is adjective. So we are here without verb so far. Okay, look at the next sentence. This machine has many functions. Again, we don't find any verb here, but has is over there, which is just an auxiliary. We are going to talk about it in a while. But when you're talking about verbs and actions, this is how we speak. I'm a girl who reads. I mean, it's a combination of noun and verb, or noun, adjective, adverb, and verb. Okay. Now, if my today's lesson is going to be focused, or going to be revolving around your actions, because based on action, a lot of other things also, you see, they get birth out of verb. So I want to focus that when it comes to language, verbs and actions are very important, and we need to understand them in order to use proper tenses, and based on those tenses, passives. So look at this, the types of verbs. uh, there are three types, main types. Principal verbs, the action words, like I'm talking to you guys, you're listening to me right now, you're watching. These are the watching, talking, listening, scratching, thinking, okay, blotting. These are all the actions and called principal verbs. Then we have auxiliaries, which are also called, I hope you people remember this symbol. This means option. So either it is called auxiliary, or it is called helping verb, right? So I have got something to show you, a list of auxiliary. If still, I know in ninth class there are many students who are still clueless about these most basic things, which is very unfortunate. But what to do? uh, it's never too late. So if somebody is teaching you and telling you, just all you need is pay attention. So if you look at this is the list of auxiliary verbs, like am, is, are, was, were, be, been, will, has, how, had, sorry, have, had, do, does, did. These are the auxiliaries in English. They are constant, there's no addition to them. These are the only auxiliaries and helping verbs, not very difficult to learn or know, and they are used in the sentences, you can see. Okay, just let me have a sip of tea. You continue reading the sentences if you wish to. All these auxiliaries, which are called helping verbs, they are used here in the sentences. The red ones, the highlighted ones, are the auxiliaries. Okay. And now, going back to our uh, main page, which was this. So we have talked about two types. One is principal verb, the other one is auxiliary, which I have just shown you. Then we have another types of verbs which is called modal verbs, and we also call them modal auxiliary. Okay, they are something like this. Again, I have saved something for you to see, because I have been constantly talking about this last year, all the years I have taught. So I thought it's better to show you so that it becomes part of your visionary memory. Okay, it's here. Can, may, must, shall, will, ought to, need, be to, have to, would, and should, and used to. If you're confused about be, so here it is. The sentence is, the further explanation is: obligation arising out of arrangement or agreement. Okay, that's where be2 is used. I'm going to show you the sentences where these are used, but for the time being, take it as introductory lesson, though it shouldn't be introductory because you are in metric class now, and we have talked about all these very thoroughly last year. But if it is missed from your memory, it shouldn't. These things, for the last time, I'm going to touching them, because later there are a lot of other things on in your SLO booklet to cover. If we will continue remaining stuck into these basics, then I don't think we are going to make any progress. So please learn to pay attention and try and retain things in your memory. That is very important for your futuristic lessons. Now, whenever it is verb, understand, whenever you are going to use verbs in your speech and conversation, remember there will be the presence of tenses. Then you cannot really continue talking about verbs without structures, and structures are basically tenses. And based on tenses, we have passives also. Without tenses, passives are not possible. Without verb, tenses are not possible. So there's a complete linkage between all this, and it is very logical and interesting. If you put this traditional mindset towards grammar lessons, then things will start making sense to you. So understand that tenses are based on verbs. If you take out verbs, there won't be any tenses. There will be only time left. Okay, time and number, which is usually suggested through helping verbs, or sometimes modal verbs as well. So tenses, I had taught you, there are 4 major tenses: simple tense, continuous tense. They have times, 3 times inside them. Then we have perfect tense, and the final one is perfect continuous tense, which I haven't written here for some reason. Or I have? No, I haven't. So and along with this, I have written some examples of passives as well, which I am not going to touch today. Most probably in coming week we will talk about purely about tenses and passives, maybe in our FB live, maybe, because Zooms are particularly for reading and writing SLOs, and I'm thinking and planning to bring listening lessons now in Zoom as well, because listening is getting neglected. So the summary and the nutshell of writing of today's lesson is: there are 2 ways to speak, or the combination of the 2, either without action or with action, or with both you speak. When it comes to verbs, keep these 3 things in the mind. You are either using principal verb, which is the actions and the verbs, major verb in the sentence. Then we have auxiliary, which is also called helping verb. Then we have modal verbs, also called modal auxiliary. Okay, based on these verbs, we have tenses. Tenses are major tenses are 4: simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous is the combination tense. Based on these tenses, we have passives as well. If you remember, I don't know how many of you remember, in Zoom I had shared the do's and don'ts for formal register. One of that rule which I found very interesting, and I had also suggested you during previous classes, that when you are formal and you are using standard language, mostly your structures are passives that you choose to write or speak. informal register. We will soon be talking about it. Remember, everything is connected, everything has a connection, and without understanding that connection, you cannot really grip the SLO, you can say, or a concept. So it's very important to understand these, subtle linkages between everything. That makes you command on the subject. So thank you. That was a lesson about, and I'll be sharing more about passives in our future lessons. Take care.